Hey there, thanks for joining me today. Let's kick things off from right here in Frisco, Texas, home of our Dallas Cowboys. Picture this, I'm out at Topgolf with my grandsons, and let me tell you, it's a mix of fun and frustration. They're smashing the balls while I'm just trying to keep up. But that's the perfect way to start because today, we've got three big topics on the table, stuff that every Cowboys fan will want to hear. First up, let's talk about the coaching situation. You probably heard about Mike Zimmer and the whole controversy around him not getting a proper interview when the Cowboys were searching for a new head coach. Zimmer's been around for decades and has deep ties to the Cowboys, even coached last year in a tough blow-it-up kind of season. There's talk that Deion Sanders, a friend of Zimmer's and a pretty colorful character himself, might pull Zimmer back into coaching over at Colorado. Zimmer's a family guy, loves his grandkids and horses, but he's got that coaching itch. Now here's the kicker. The Cowboys basically didn't interview him properly for the head coach job. Instead, they hired Mike McCarthy's former offensive coordinator, Mike McCarthy being the head coach. No, I mean Shane Steichen, who's gotten a thumbs up from the media and fans. But was it the right move to skip Zimmer? Was it respectful to not even give him a shot to present a vision? There's been some frustration around that, and it's something you should think about. Imagine if Zimmer had come in as head coach, but Steichen stayed on offense. Maybe that could have worked, or maybe not. We'll never know. But for a guy who's been around 30 years, who's built a reputation as a defensive guru, it's a surprising move by the Jones family, especially since Zimmer was right there, in the building last year. What do you think? Should the Cowboys have interviewed Zimmer? Would you have liked to see what he could bring to the table as a head coach? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and hey, while you're there, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any updates on the Cowboys as we roll into training camp. We're on the path to 15,000 subscribers, and your support really helps keep this channel going. Alright, before we dive into the quarterbacks, just remember, this channel is all about keeping it real, straight up no BS, and you get that here. So stay tuned because next up, we're breaking down the latest quarterback rankings and why Dak Prescott's name might not be where you expect it. Alright, now let's get into the quarterback situation. Everyone's got an opinion on Dak Prescott. The guy's been the Cowboys starter for years, the face of the franchise, but lately there's been a lot of chatter about his consistency and whether he's still the best option under center. The latest quarterback rankings came out, and guess what? Dak's not near the top. Some analysts are putting him behind guys like Jared Goff, even Kirk Cousins. That's a big deal for Cowboys fans because Dak's not just a player, he's supposed to be the guy who leads this team to a championship. But the stats and tape don't lie. Dak's had some struggles, especially late in games, and he's been injured a few times, which hasn't helped. On the other hand, there's young talent waiting in the wings. Who remembers when we all thought Cooper Rush was just a backup? Well, Rush had his moments last season and showed he can manage games under pressure. Then there's the rookie, Trey Lance, drafted with some big expectations but sidelined by injuries. The Cowboys' decision to invest in new quarterbacks says a lot about the future they're planning. And then there's the buzz around backup quarterbacks possibly being shots fired at Dak. What does that even mean? Some people think the coaches want to send a message to Dak by pushing the backups harder, maybe even looking for someone to eventually take over. Is that true? Maybe, or maybe it's just normal competition, the kind every team thrives on. Either way, it keeps the quarterback room interesting and fans on edge. So, what's your take? Should the Cowboys stick with Dak Prescott and hope for another MVP-type season? Or is it time to start planning for a new era at quarterback? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's get a discussion going. Before we wrap up this chapter, don't forget, if you're enjoying this breakdown, please like and share the video. It really helps the channel grow and brings more Cowboys fans into the conversation. Now hold tight, because next up, we'll talk about a shocking rookie deal that's shaking things up in the Cowboys' WR room. You won't want to miss it. Alright, let's dive into that shocking rookie deal everyone's talking about. The one involving Treshan Holden, the young wide receiver the Cowboys just signed. This move caught a lot of fans off guard because it wasn't just about adding depth. It felt like Dallas was betting on a player who could make an immediate impact. Treshan Holden isn't a household name yet, but he's got some serious talent. Coming out of college, he wasn't the most hyped prospect, but his speed and route-running ability caught the eyes of scouts. The Cowboys front office clearly saw something special and decided to lock him with a contract that raised eyebrows around the league. Why is this deal so surprising? Well, it's not every day that a rookie WR gets a contract, with terms that suggest the team expects him to compete right away, possibly even for snaps ahead of veterans. That's a strong statement, especially considering the Cowboys' wide receiver room is stacked with experience, including CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. Now, some fans are excited, thinking Holden could bring fresh energy and shake up the depth chart. Others are skeptical, wondering if the Cowboys are rushing the kid or if this is a move to put pressure on the current backups. Either way, it's clear the Cowboys are looking to add competition and push everyone to elevate their game. The timing of the deal also fuels rumors about the team's long-term plans at WR. Could Holden be a key piece of the future? Is this a sign the Cowboys want to start grooming new talent sooner rather than later? Only time will tell, but it's definitely a story worth following. I'm curious, what do you think about this rookie deal? Are the Cowboys making a smart move, or is this too much, too soon? Drop your opinions below. Up next, we'll get into some shots fired at the backup quarterback situation and what that means for the team dynamics. Stay tuned. Alright, let's talk about the backup quarterback situation, which has gotten surprisingly spicy lately. Rumors and reports have hinted at some tension behind the scenes, especially involving Joe Milton, one of the backups fighting for reps. Now, Joe Milton isn't a rookie, but he's been trying to carve out a solid role as the backup behind Dak Prescott. The Cowboys coaching staff and fans alike are watching closely to see if Milton can step up when called upon. However, some recent news suggests there might be some frustration from the team's side, maybe even some shots fired at Milton's performance or attitude. Why is this important? Well, the backup QB is a critical role. If Dak goes down, the Cowboys need someone reliable to step in and keep the offense moving. If there's drama or uncertainty at that position, it could spell trouble down the line. The shots fired could mean anything, from coaching staff publicly questioning Milton's readiness to subtle hints in practice reports or media leaks. It's a reminder that the competition in the NFL is fierce, and every player is under pressure to perform. Interestingly, this tension could open the door for another player or rookie QB to make a surprise push for the backup job. The Cowboys are known for shaking things up, and this might be a prime example. How do you feel about the QB depth chart now? Is Milton the guy you trust if Dak gets hurt, or do you think the Cowboys need to look elsewhere? Let me know. Next, we'll wrap up by breaking down what all these moves and rumors mean for the Cowboys' outlook this season and beyond. Alright, we've covered a lot today. From the shocking contract for rookie WR Treshan Holden to the whispers around the backup quarterback drama and what it all means for the Cowboys. So what's the big picture here? First, the Cowboys are clearly making moves to secure young talent and depth. Signing Holden to a rookie contract shows they see real potential there, and that could pay off big if he develops into a reliable weapon down the line. Second, the backup QB situation is definitely one to watch. Any hints of tension or uncertainty there could impact the team's stability. The Cowboys will want to lock that down fast, especially with a demanding season ahead. Finally, these kinds of moves and rumors are just part of the grind in the NFL. Constant competition, pressure, and the need to adjust on the fly. The Cowboys are no exception, and they're playing it smart by investing in both rookies and vets to keep the roster competitive. For you, the fans, it's an exciting time. New players, fresh energy, and a few surprises along the way. Stay tuned because this season could bring some real fireworks. Thanks for sticking with me through all the updates. If you're as hyped as I am, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think about these moves. Who's your sleeper pick this season, and what's your take on the QB backup drama? Catch you next time for more Cowboys news and updates.